Working mom of 4 kids, and tomorrow I am traveling for work. It is just a one-day trip to New York, but it's going to take me the entire day. I'm leaving at like 5 a.m. I'll probably get home at midnight. I don't really know. And the reason I'm doing a one-day trip is because in our home, I tend to be the default parent. Not the default parent in the sense that my husband doesn't participate, but in the sense that my husband has an incredibly inflexible job and I have a flexible job. And so every single morning I do the morning routine by myself. I typically do pickups. I do activities after school. I do any doctor's appointments, speech therapy, any of that I do. And so when I travel for work, it takes a ton of logistical coordination just to figure shit out, honestly. It is crazy. And so because of this, when I travel for work, it is not as simple as me saying to my husband, hey, I have a conference in New York City on this day. Sound good? It is, hey, I have a conference in New York City this day. Can you take 2 hours of PTO to get the kids to school? And if not, can we find a babysitter who can come for 2 hours on a random Thursday morning? And if not, is your mom around? No, she's got work. Okay, I'll call my mom and see if she's around. Nope, she's traveling. Okay. And then on and on and on we go. We try to figure out the logistics, and then we coordinate the afternoon, evenings, all of those things, right? And so obviously none of this stuff has to do with really like house chores or any of that. It just has to do with the logistics of parenting, which means you have to get kids to school and from school and all of those things. And my partner's job is so inflexible that I typically do all of this. And so when I travel, it means I have to coordinate all this extra stuff. And what I've noticed is in a lot of relationships, there's one parent that falls into this default flexible parent bucket and one that's not. I was talking to a friend and her husband is gone basically every week in June. And it's not a conversation of if he's traveling, it is just that he is traveling. And he assumes that she has everything held down at home because she always does. She's a default parent in that sense. And what I have found in these relationships is that oftentimes mom is the default. She's the one who has changed her career to be more flexible to accommodate the needs of kids. And because of that flexibility, because of being the default parent, she's less likely to be able to take a new job that is not flexible. She's less likely to go to networking events or travel for work because in order for her to do so, it takes so much work and coordination. And so I have noticed this in my own life. I know it is happening to many other women, and not just women, it happens to dads too. Typically when one person is in the more flexible role, that means that their career aspirations are somewhat limited due to the logistics of managing a home and family.